If you guys want to save 5% off on LEGO Star Wars, mystery boxes, CMFs, and more, be sure to use code LIFEBRICK at republicbricks.com. Link in the description. Use code LIFEBRICK. That's all capitals. L1 or LIF3BrickS at checkout to get 5% off your total order. It'll pretty much get you a couple dollars off, maybe pay for your shipping. So definitely use code LIFEBRICK at republicbricks.com. Best LEGO seller, best LEGO reseller out there. Totally recommend them. I've got a video on my channel showing some of the products, a mystery package. Definitely got my values worth, so be sure to use code LIFEBRICK at republicbricks.com. Thank you guys, and stay tuned for the video.
Welcome back, guys, to another video. We're bringing out another worst to best. This is going to be the LEGO worst to best involving the LEGO Star Wars sub-themes. I know the term sub-theme could be thrown up in the air a couple different ways when talking about LEGO in general or LEGO Star Wars. But in this video, I'll be going over pretty much these sub-themes that I'm considering just different types of LEGO Star Wars sets. So I've got on here Planet Series, Microfighters, Polybags, Buildable Figures, UCS Sets, and Battle Packs. Again, this is a pretty opinionated video. Again, there's really no stats on this. It is pretty much all just opinionated. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. But here's pretty much my thoughts, and I'll give a couple reasons as to why I think they deserve this ranking. So this is pretty much out of 6. So again, I think out of those, I think the number 6 has to be the Planet Series. I think out of all these, I think the Planet Series makes the least amount of sense. It's kind of the most a random idea that's kind of just thrown out there. I feel like there's really no concept behind it other than the fact of what it says, Planet Series, including the planet to it. It was a cool idea, don't get me wrong. I really do enjoy some of those planets. They're cool to have. If they were still sitting around on shelves for $10, I'd probably get them on clearance. But just, I think out of all these, and the reason why it's at the bottom is just the fact, if it is the most kind of out of nowhere concept out of all these, where I feel, again, like it's something that if it would have never existed, no one would have asked for it. And unlike some of these other ones, which again, I feel like, moving on to number 5, which is the buildable figures, I feel like this is something that genuinely people have asked for. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's a really good idea, but I just feel like on very few of them they've been able to execute them right. That's why it's number 5, guys. I think it's a little bit above the Planet Series since it is a really good concept, but I got to give them a negative on the point of I feel like they've really not hit that many of them right on the head. The General Grievous, yes. K2SO, yes. Commander Cody, Jango Fett, yes, but a couple of them, like all the human ones, like Rey and Jyn Erso, Finn, just we could have done without those. I feel like they had more strikeouts than home runs. Involving the buildable figures. That's why I got to give it to the number 5 spot. We got number 4, guys. I got to give it to the Microfighter subline. And I got to give it to that for the pure fact of I know you kind of moving on to number 3 when I get into it, but number 4, for being a micro scale version of something, there's always going to be that market to have a miniature version of something, or if you don't want to get the big Millennium Falcon, get a small Millennium Falcon. But I feel like the only issue with that, though, is again these microfighters aren't really that complete. There's room for a minifigure. It's not really a complete vehicle. A lot of times, they are a little bit. I think $10 is a little expensive, honestly, for some of these microfighters that are produced. I mean, maybe not piece count wise, but just like what you're actually getting for that $10. I feel like it's really. I think a Planet Series, you're getting more money or more of your value worth than a microfighter. I do got to give the Planet Series that. But that's pretty much my thoughts on number 4. Number 3, guys, has to be the Polybags. This might be someone's all-time favorite right here, and I don't see why. I don't see why not, because Polybags is pretty much, I think, a little bit better version of a microfighter, where you do get miniature versions of something that are complete. As much as they can be. Again, like a Polybag Venator is not going to have nearly as much detail or size, accuracy compared to a regular Venator, but it's still the fact of. I think the Polybags, for the $4 you can get them at, $3 you can get them at. I think they execute the miniature micro version of a LEGO Star Wars set better than the microfighters themselves. So that's my opinion, and I think that's why, this is number 3. And then moving on to number 2, which is the complete opposite of it, making the sets humongous compared to a Polybag and compared to the regular size. And number 2 is going to be the UCS sets. I think it's a very cool, I think it's a pretty obvious idea that they could have done. Making an Ultimate Collector Series line, very expensive for the more hardcore fans and, adults that just want to display, a humongous set compared to just a regular, like the TIE Fighter, a huge TIE Fighter compared to a regular sized TIE Fighter that you could, swoosh around and play with. They definitely have that price hike, and again, I think most UCS sets are pretty much priced accurately. I think the only ones that maybe are a little bit too much priced over, like the Assault and Hoth, then maybe the UCS Millennium Falcon, maybe by $100 or $2. I think we could have maybe got that thing down to like 700, or even 600. But that's why I got to give that to number 2, though, guys. I think the concept's good, and again, it's a pretty obvious concept that would have worked with Lego Star Wars. So moving on, number 1, guys, has to be the Battle Packs. Pretty obvious that was going to be number 1. I think, like, legitimately out of people that like Star Wars, I'll cut it right down the middle, 50%. Clone Wars, armies of stuff, building dioramas, but even adults that build, big scale Hoth mocks, a Hoth battle pack with Rebel troopers. It's just a really cheap way to get the figures you need. They've kind of swayed away from that lately, though, with the whole putting 2 Jedi in a battle pack and stuff like that. But I think battle packs from like 2007 through 2015, or maybe even 2016, were just the best you can get with just kind of a newer concept and a really good idea that was executed well, through the Lego Star Wars, theme, for Lego. And that's why I got to give the battle packs the number 1 spot. Honestly, I think again they're kind of swaying off. They're kind of dying off a little bit from what they were originated for, but I still got to say in the long term, though, I think the battle pack concept was the one of the better ideas that Lego has ever kind of produced for a theme. And again, I know they do like city battle packs and stuff like that, but the Star Wars battle packs are of course the most like notable out of all those. So again, guys, that's my list. I figured I'd make this quick little list to get all of your guys' thoughts on it. Like, what do you like collecting the most out of all of these? Again, there's obviously regular sets, but like, which one do you think is the best, like, a thing that Lego Star Wars could have done? Like, do you like polybags? Do you collect polybags but not microfighters? Do you like Planet Series over microfighters? Leave a comment down below and let me know. I'd love to know. So yeah, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. See you guys later. Bye.